Antonio Brown has an arrest warrant for unpaid child support.
Had allegedly not made payments that he had been required to make to his ex, Wiltrice Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've achieved quite a feat for this channel. It's been over 2 months since we've last made an Antonio Brown video. And unfortunately, that streak has ended today because, well, there's a warrant out for his arrest. Yeah, again. So before we get to the content, we're running giveaways on my Snapchat story, Instagram story, and on my Twitter account, giving away Madden NFL 24 codes. I'm really gonna kick that into high gear from Thursday and on because my Amazon account has been locked for purchasing too many codes while I was in Costa Rica, I suppose. So make sure you're followed on all those platforms so I can spoil you guys when I get back. And now that we get all of that out of the way, break. Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL is finally back.
That's impossible!
But I'm gonna admit, the preseason is boring as shit. I mean, when the second stringers and third stringers come out, your boy does tend to fall asleep a little bit. But I found a way to make the preseason all the more interesting. Because ladies and gentlemen, we are back! Posting prize picks on the days that there are significant preseason games. Starting from the Hall of Fame game, all the way to the Super Bowl. Your boy is going to be making picks on his Instagram story. The picks are free, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram to get them. And if you haven't signed up for prize picks, right now when you use my promo code Mikerophone, you'll double your deposit up to $100. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsorship. Mike check 1212. What's going on, everybody? Following Antonio Brown's post-NFL career arc has been one roller coaster of a ride. I mean, hell, how about we scratch that? From the moment that Antonio Brown entered his final season with the Pittsburgh Steelers and on, there was something off about him. And we covered this ad nauseum in our Antonio Brown documentary that compared his interviews from the past to how he started interviewing after the infamous Vontaze Burfict hit. That clearly changed him forever. And I know that's something that's been disputed, but if you need some empirical evidence, we did some research a couple years ago and you can go take a look at that. I'll leave it in the end screen. But from then and on, things have just been very odd for Antonio Brown. He would get traded to the Oakland Raiders, sign a huge contract extension, which would pretty much make him set for life if he wasn't set for life already, with a brand new head coach that clearly believed in him. And just within a few months, he showed up to training camp in a hot air balloon, revealed that his feet were frostbitten, refused to wear the league-approved helmet that was assigned to him, call his general manager a racial slur, and then reveal a phone call that he had with John Gruden onto his YouTube channel before eventually getting cut.
And I don't know where you are in your life right now, officer. All I know is you got a lot of things going. There's a lot of people that have an opinion about you. And whether it be good or bad, you're in the spotlight all the time. Please stop this and just play football. How hard is it, man? You're a great football player. Just play football.
But since Antonio Brown was so freaking talented, he would get opportunity after opportunity to prove himself. Still, Tom Brady really vouched for him, so Bill Belichick decided to sign him to the New England Patriots. Although that was a short-lived tenure with the New England Patriots, when Tom Brady left the Patriots and joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, although Bruce Arians didn't want Antonio Brown on the team, eventually, because of Tom Brady's leverage in the situation, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed Antonio Brown. And he had a brief career renaissance. I mean, he was the wide receiver 3 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a Tom Brady-led team. And he had the ultimate reward. He was able to win a Super Bowl. Now, through this, he was dealing with personal issues, including accusations that were levied against him by romantic interests or ex-assistants claiming that he didn't truly get vaccinated and he doctored vaccine cards, all the way to the infamous day that Antonio Brown decided to take his jersey off and leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers while they were facing off versus the New York Jets in the middle of a game. And then after that, even more controversy would go down. He would begin to smear Tom Brady's name. I mean, he really would go from podcast to podcast to podcast, throwing Tom Brady under the bus.
Standing where I'm from or where we at, you guys not been through what I've been through, so I don't expect you guys to understand. Like, I'm not out here to hurt myself. I'm out here to help you guys win. I mean, getting the ball, help you move the chains, get in the zone. Tom Brady's my friend. Why? Because I'm a good football player.
And I guess this is the epitome of Antonio Brown burning bridges, because at this point, after Tom Brady gave you a job twice in the NFL, advocating for you to join the Patriots at first, and then going to bat for you with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you're going out and slandering a player who many people believe is the greatest player of all time, at that point, no team in the NFL is going to want to employ you. And it's really sad because Antonio Brown clearly had a lot of good football left in him, and there is a completely different side to the story. Maybe there's something to the fact that Antonio Brown felt like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wanted him to play while he was hurt. But the thing is, when you have isolated incident after isolated incident after isolated incident, chances are the public is going to side with the opposition as opposed to yourself. This brings us to where Antonio Brown has been recently. He started the year off strong by jumping into a Dubai swimming pool naked next to another woman, and would continue it in doing something wholesome, which is a hostile takeover of a arena football team, which was the defending champion of the NAL, and getting that team kicked out of the league after the starting quarterback and the head coach would quit. And that's the last we've heard of Antonio Brown. And to be honest, I'm quite impressed that I was able to cite every single incident from memory. Let me know if I missed anything in the comment section down below. So you might be thinking, okay, Mike, well, what now? It seems like, once again, we have an update on Antonio Brown, and it's really an unfortunate one. According to TMZ Sports, cops are ordered to arrest ex-NFL star again over unpaid child support. Florida cops have been ordered to arrest Antonio Brown once again after a judge ruled he missed yet another child support payment. According to Miami-Dade County court documents, the ruling was issued on August 9th after Brown apparently missed a $15,000 payment to his ex, Wiltrese Jackson. And before we continue this, guys, I want you to know that this has long been a theme in Antonio Brown's life. Him owing people money and him refusing to pay people money despite him claiming that he has money. And despite him fumbling significant opportunities for wealth for himself. I mean, the Oakland Raiders contract alone would have paid him $50 million over the next 3 seasons. When you consider the fact that the Raiders would eventually move to Las Vegas, that money isn't going to be taxed as heavily as some other teams. So it's really interesting because the reason why his team was kicked out of the NAL was because he failed to pay the Albany Empire's fees to the NAL and to even pay the players. The whole reason why his assistant blew the whistle on him allegedly getting fake vaccine cards was as a result of Antonio Brown not paying the assistant what he was owed. This has been a theme in AB's life over and over and over again. And I don't know if it's the fact that it just skips his mind and he doesn't think to do it because he has so many other things going on in the background. And clearly, at least from my perspective and my perception of things, he's not right in the head, so maybe he's not thinking it. But it seems like this isn't necessarily the worst thing because it seems like this woman's just trying to get her money. Per the docs, Antonio Brown can have the order purged if he pays up, plus an additional $5,000 in attorney fees. It's the second time this year a judge has ordered law enforcement to take the ex-NFL star into custody over unpaid child support. Back in April, the order was issued after Brown failed to make a $30,000 payment to Jackson. AB, though, paid up before he was put behind bars. Brown and Jackson dated in the earlier stages of the former wide receiver's football career, and they have a daughter together. Jackson has also accused Brown of shoving her during a domestic dispute in 2019. That's gotta be a really interesting situation to be in. I mean, imagine you're this woman, right? And Antonio Brown starts as this, and we show you this in the documentary if you don't believe me. He starts as this quiet, humble-ish guy who is just really trying to make it into the NFL and is thankful for all the opportunities he gets. And all of a sudden, he just goes from that to being one of the most cockiest, self-centered human beings that we've ever seen that conducts interviews like this.
A lot of naysayers around here, I've been seeing a lot of players chip chat about me. You think I care what an NAL players say about me? I'm giving these guys jobs. I'm giving people careers. I'm giving people an opportunity to live out their dreams.
At this point, man, it just seems like it's a consistent theme in Antonio Brown's life. I really hope he can get his life together because it just gets more and more bizarre for AB. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.